I'm Paul Page on YouTube, and this is GP Laps.
Oh, thank you, Paul. Welcome back, everybody. Indycar Racing 2 from Nazareth, or Pennsylvania International Speedway, actually. The intro song is very loud. Nazareth was very cool. Nazareth, so yeah, let me just quiet this down a little bit. Nazareth was was called Pennsylvania International Speedway for a time. I think shortly after Penske purchased it and started having kart races. And I rewatched a little bit of the 1990 races there just to see what was going on at the time. And yeah, it was still called Pennsylvania International Raceway then. I think it was a couple years after that they changed it to Nazareth. Back to Nazareth, maybe? It was a dirt track long before that. Yes, home of the Andrettis. And hopefully home to a couple of wins today. Welcome back to IndyCar 2. Oop, it's not Sim Rally Masters. It's not Rally. It's this one, if it all works. We'll see if IndyCar 2 decides to appear on the screen here in a second. But welcome back to IndyCar Racing 2. There we go. Round number 15, but we get two races today. Two different races. I'm going to do both the All-Star Race, the Marlboro Challenge race, as well as round number 15, which is the second to last race of the 1990 season. It's a pretty short, full-distance race, and the All-Star Race, as it were, is half the distance. And so I figured it'll be just a nice warm-up. Doing them both together, it won't be tremendously long anyway. And we'll see if we actually make it to the end. This is such a tricky track. I forgot to look back at how I did in the 1989 season, but I remember hitting things and actually getting damage in the arcade damage that I ran at the time then. So that's how you know. That's how you know it's gonna be treacherous no matter what. But yes, two races today. So the first race we're going to do is the All-Star Race, the Marlboro Challenge. It's something they did just for 5 years, I believe, late 80s into the early 90s. They did it at Laguna Seca some years. They did it at Nazareth a few years. They did it at Tamiami Park the first couple of years. And all this was a race where they got the top 10 drivers or so. It was supposed to be all the winners and pole sitters, but that never was 10 drivers, so they would pull in a few other random ones. Do 10 drivers, and do, in my opinion, too long of a race for just 10 drivers on the track. It might be quite boring, but I've got hopefully something that can help spice it up today. But we're going to do that race first. 100 laps. We'll use it, I guess, as a warm-up. Try to win the thing. I don't know what it means. And then we'll reset and do the full distance race. 200 laps, which is still very short of a race. I think the full distance race will be barely over an hour as it is. All right, so I've put together, let me make sure I'm on the right one here. I've put together our all-star grid for the all-star race. It's just 10 drivers, and it's all the winners, pole sitters, and then the rest of the top 10 in points, since there's really no other. I looked back, it seems like they had used previous year winners maybe, and yeah, I have all of them in like the top 5 based off of this current season. So didn't really have to make any concessions. Just pulled in more drivers. So we got myself, Ryan Axelson, which will be starting obviously the #1 champion of the '89 season. Definitely not champion of the 1990 season, unfortunately. But then we've got Allinger Jr., who's been doing quite well in the season, both seasons, '89 and '90. Michael Andretti, who's been so dominant at times, but is maybe out of the championship after what happened last time. Yeah, I don't know. He's probably very upset with Ryan Axelson after all that in Wisconsin. But yeah, Michael Andretti will be starting the race as well. Rick Mears, who doesn't have a win, I don't believe, but is in the top 10 in points. So he'll be in our race as well. We've got Bobby Rahal with the Craco, number 18 car. He'll be in the race with Emerson Fittipaldi. Few wins on the season. and I think he won the last couple races. He won the 89 version that I did, as well as the final race of the season last year, which seems like something they occasionally use to determine who was in this. Danny Sullivan, our current points leader, will obviously be in the race as well. Mario makes it in, I think, just off of points. Both Newman Haas cars in there. Ari Leyendijk as well, based off of points, will be in the race. And then finally, Teo Fabi with the Porsche gets in for being 10th in points in our season, in the 1990 season. So he'll actually get into the All-Star race, which is great for Porsche, I guess. But yeah, those are just the 10 drivers. Let me make sure I've got this set correctly. We'll be doing 50% distance. Everything else is on, and we've got just the 9 opponents. And so we'll do a single race here at Nazareth Speedway. Nazareth Speedway. So, Nazareth Speedway, a 1 mile oval, slightly under 1 mile. It is the short track, definitely in these seasons. And let me just make sure I've got the right setup on. It's definitely the short track of these seasons. It is super fast, super tight, and just getting around cars is the main issue. But with so few cars on the track, it's actually going to be kind of interesting. Interesting to see what this sprint race is like. We will have to pit during it, and so let me just get something set up here. We will have to pit during it, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see if, I don't know how the strategy works. It's just a one-stopper. And I've got something fun to, I don't know, look at, maybe spice things up a little bit. Here we go. Let me share here on the screen. So, as always, with all the cool things coming out in... Oh, weird. Get rid of that. With all the cool things that are always being worked on for this game lately, I'm using the rendition version today, which is the HD update. This is the one that I've been using throughout this season, and my points championship and everything is in it, so it would be kind of hard to go to a different version and things. I think it looks great, and doing the widescreen version would be cool, but this one's got all the points and stuff. But something that we can use to spice things up is a little app that OneSK has been working on, and this is a leaderboard app, or like a real timing app that goes alongside IndyCar 2 and shows us the full field and what's going on in the race. Now, I've tried to make it as big as I can on the screen. The reason it's so small for this is because we only have 10 cars, but when the full field's in here, for the full race, it'll extend to the full width. So hopefully you can see it all right. But this will show you all mostly who's on track, who's doing good times, what the order is. If somebody DNFs, you'll be able to follow the entire field for the whole race. Hopefully, fingers crossed it all works correctly. It doesn't quite always work in practice and qualifying and stuff, but in the race it seems to get things pretty good. And yeah, it should be fun, especially in this short race where there's not going to be a lot going on, I don't think. Can help, I don't know, spice things up a little bit. So we'll see if folks like it or not, and maybe decide to keep that around as a permanent fixture here. All right, let's get out of the pits though, and let me do a couple quick laps and just warm up here. I hope everybody's having a good Saturday morning. But yeah, Nazareth Speedway, it is a treacherous little track. It is so narrow is really the thing that that gets me with it. First corner there is flat out when we're on lighter fuel, which will be really interesting. And passing down into turn 3 here is one of the best places to pass when you're fighting through traffic, but turn 1 here is like impossible to pass in. Ooh, it's a little light there. But yes, some high-speed oval racing. We've only got the 10 cars on the field for this one, and they're all the quickest ones, so I guess finishing not last is kind of the goal. You don't want to be the worst and the fastest, but this will be a hard little race because there's not going to be a lot of traffic to slow people down and stuff like that. Here comes Ari on the high side. yellow as well. Or is that Sullivan that's standing? I've got full fuel right now. I will run full fuel for this because we will have to pit once, and if there's a yellow flag or something, that might change, you know, where we would pit. I don't know. Yeah, racing on the rendition version since this is where my championship is and everything. I'd have to go kind of manually calculate stuff if we move to the widescreen version. This version still looks great. I'm torn between the high definition and the widescreen and things. I think I don't know. Hopefully they can add widescreen to this version. I know Sharon God has experimented with it a little bit, but it's definitely complex. It's a complex thing to do, and the way that Hatcher did it with the Windy version is not going to be possible. It would be a totally different way of doing it. But yeah, we still got the limited view, which will be, honestly, the widescreen would be very nice around a track like this because it's so tight. We're going to have to be kind of racing everybody side by side. But yeah, probably do some stuff with the widescreen one in the future. But we'll finish our championship in this one. All right. I don't know what's going on with the fuel. What's going on with the face on the two guys on the left? Yeah, I got force feedback and everything, though, so we're good there. But all right, so little warm-up session. We will jump straight into qualifying here, and I'm just going to take a bunch of fuel out, and I think we only need like 6 gallons for this. I'm trying to think if I want to remove any wing or anything. No, we'll try it like this. Qualifying has been my most difficult thing here, and we'll look at the preliminary qualifying results. I'm not sure the pit board timing thing is going to work for qualifying here, so keep that in mind. But yeah, 179 up front for Michael Andretti. We might be starting last. Danny Sullivan with a 179 as well. Penske doing quite well. Rick Mears, Emerson Fittipaldi said second, third, fourth, all Penske. All right, we got to beat a 176.4 to get ahead of Fabi here. Oh yeah, I do got the custom paint scheme on the Sunoco Papyrus racing car. Is it next month, Taka? Man, 30 years old. That's exciting, except when you've been playing it since the day it was released. All right, qualifying here. I think we get 1 warm-up lap, and then we get 2 timed laps to try to get as good of a time. I need better than a 176 mile an hour lap to not qualify last. It's going to be, I think in the full grid, I'll be able to start at least in the mid-pack, but in a small field like this with all the fastest drivers, this is going to be very difficult. All right. We'll use downshifting a little bit. Help keep the RPMs in the optimal range. I think we get one more. No, that's the green flag. We're on it. 2 laps here. Flat out through the first corner. Just a lift of the throttle down to 5th gear for turns 2 and 3. Is that how they number them here? I don't even know. Down to the end of the backstretch. There's a lot of corners around this track. You could argue that there's like 6 different turns. P3. Man, I didn't think I could actually go that fast. Nice. Wow, that's probably the best lap I've ever done around here. Let's see if we can pick it up at all. Push a little bit wide, but I went quite deep at the end of the backstretch. P1, 179.8. Dang. Yeah, this is actually the NASCAR Racing 99 version of this track. It's been converted. Pavel, I think, converted it to IndyCar 2 because the default Nazareth for IndyCar 2 is quite different than it was in real life. All right, pole position in the All-Star race. That bodes quite well for our chances today. Yeah, it's so fast around here. It's like a I don't know. You get like, I could imagine this being dizzying in real life. Just yeah. Well, let's look at the results here for qualifying. 179 miles an hour. Yeah, the force feedback is a huge help. I was talking about this in the last stream before if you weren't here for the last one, please don't go back and watch it. It was very embarrassing. I made a fatal error during it, but live and learn, I guess. But yes, I talked about it a lot in the last stream that the force feedback makes this so much easier to, maybe not to drive, but to know, like once you get to the point where you're going fast, I can push even harder because I can feel just if the car is going to swap ends, which was always really difficult in the past. But yeah, get the pole ahead of Michael Andretti, Danny Sullivan, Rick Mears, Emerson Fittipaldi's mid-pack, 5th ahead of Mario Andretti, Bobby Rahal, Alan Sir Jr., Ari Lyondike, and Teo Fabi. Starts dead last in the Porsche. I think he's just happy to be here. 100 laps. It's not a short race. This is a pretty substantial race. 100 laps around Nazareth. We'll have to pit. I think we can go like 65 laps on a tank. And so if it stays green, which it very well may just be a green to checker race since there's only 10 cars, unless somebody crashes at some point. But yeah, if it stays green the whole time, this is going to be a pretty quick one. And then we'll jump into the full race after this. But we'll see. I think for this one, I'm going to push pretty hard because there's not a lot to lose for myself. This is more of a test session to... I guess, feel it out. And I don't think we'll get much practice passing people unless I get overtaken at the start. But I guess that will... Oh, I got to reset the best laps. Can I do that now? How do I do that? Yes, and thank you for making this timing app. It's pretty cool. I'll do it once I jump in the car. It's very cool. It's not something that I think I will use all the time for myself, but for stuff like this, I think it'll be fun for you all watching. Hopefully fun to kind of track what's going on in the race as it's happening. You can actually see battles that aren't on my screen, which will be good. And then yeah, if we did like a full Indy 500 and stuff, you've got a full 33 cars listed on there and everything. It's very cool. It's also amazing for testing things and being able to see how the AI react to that. I think that's probably, for me, the most interesting part of things. All right, let me get in the car here, and we'll pause it real quick, and let me reset the best laps. There we go. All right, so we'll get started with this. The 1990 All-Star Challenge race from Nazareth, Pennsylvania. I think this one will be all flat out, and we'll see how well I can do. Prepare for our full distance race right after this. But I appreciate you all joining today, and hopefully this is entertaining. This might be, I don't know. I was like, do I even do this? Because it's even the one we did last season at Laguna Seca, if you can remember that far back, was not that interesting. It was a little, I think Emerson ran away with it. But appreciate y'all being here for it, and we'll see how I can do. The starts is most difficult. I am a bit slow on cold tires. So see if we can get a good launch here ahead of one Michael Andretti. Green flag is out. He's going to have a better launch than me here. So we'll come across the line, start the All-Star Challenge. Try not to understeer up into Rick Mears. Mario's going to get a jump as well. Oh, Rick almost closes the door on me there. All right, there we go. Just give it a moment here. Is that Sullivan behind? I have a lot of understeer right now. As Sullivan's looking down low. Blocked the low line a little bit through the kink. This one, I can't watch the chat at all today in this. It's, especially if I'm around other cars, it's very frantic around Nazareth. All right, got a nice little run on Mears here, down low. Ooh, he squeezes me in the kink, but should have the launch. The good line into, is this properly turn one? I think it is. I think that's just called the kink. All right, there's a frantic battle behind me, but we've been set loose from mirrors. Danny Sullivan follows me through, it looks like. You're going to have a better concept of what's going on than I do, just with the timing the way it is. It's tough. It's a lot of information to look at while I'm, driving. All right. Closing in. I'm definitely faster than Michael here. We'll see how Sullivan does if he gets around him as well. But have to plan the pass here in a good spot. Close up right behind him, down the backstretch. Yeah, lap traffic is really going to be the difficult thing around here in the full race. The short grid here, I don't know if we'll pass anybody, maybe Fabi at some point. All right, I've got Sullivan right in the mirror now as I'm trailing Michael here, and I have to try to find a good spot to get around him. It's not going to get me far enough alongside for him not to close the door. Maybe we can take it a little bit high here. He didn't really run that down low. Cover off on Sullivan behind, but get a nice run coming out of the corner, down at the end of the backstretch. Just touch the grass there with the left wheels. All right, up the inside of Michael. Let's try to run away. Starting to push a little bit of understeer. We'll click down on that front bar. All right, Hunter Jr. gets around Michael somehow. I didn't even know he was up with us. That's a fun 8 laps, but we still have 92 laps to go in this. It's going to be a long one, I think. All right. 0.7 seconds behind on this lap. Let's see if I'm opening this gap or not. You'll be able to tell. I've got it showing. There's a whole bunch of settings with this app that SK has made that you can show lots of different things. I've got it on pretty minimal stuff. You're seeing how many laps the car has done. That'll also show you, I think, if they retire, what the retirement reason is. I don't know if we'll get any retirements in this grid today. But shows you how many laps they've done, the gap to the car, or the gap to the leader. So that'll show you if they go a lap down or something. Then you've got their last lap in speed. Since it's an oval, I put it on speed. And then their best lap. So you can see their fluctuation throughout the race. All right, this is going all right so far. Might run away with this a little bit, but we still have a long ways to go. Hold it up to 1.3 seconds now. Just try to keep it between the white lines. Honestly, I could win some races in this. It's been it's been a difficult season. I've been reflecting a little bit because it's taken me forever to do this season. I think we're well over 2 years at this point that I've been slowly going through these races. Ooh, car got a little light there. So I appreciate your patience. I'm not fast in getting through this stuff, but it's been a difficult season. I had a lot of difficult races, different technical, we'll call them mechanical issues with the car, but different technical issues along the way. If you go back to the first race of the season, IndyCar 2 looks like a completely different game at this point. Don't cut the grass. Yeah, I think I did win Michigan. That was the big one. But I crashed out of the Indy 500 trying to pass Willie T. Ribs on the high side down the backstretch, which I should have known better. That's not a spot where you can get around a lapped car. We've had the game. We tried Denver multiple times and just couldn't get the full race completed. I have since learned that cross our fingers, but some advice from Sharon Gadd actually with how DOS allocates memory and things, that it's advised to restart the game between every race or attempt at a race, and it's probably best to actually do it prior to like the race session itself. Might help some of the crashing. Knock on wood, this one will be all right. This is an official Papyrus track. It's from, like I was saying earlier, it's from NASCAR 99, so it's hopefully doesn't have those crashing issues at it, but we'll see. All right, we pulled out a 2.3 second lead off Allenser Jr. behind me. He's ahead of Sullivan, Michael Andretti, Lion Dykes back there. Fittipaldi's in last somehow, which is very surprising. I mean, it's only 10 cars, but I would think he would be faster than a couple of these guys. Not having a good handle on the car, but everybody's still in the race. Everybody's on the lead lap. We can't yet see the car in last place. But Fittipaldi should be coming up here not too long. It's quick laps. It's like 21-second laps around here, 22 seconds. So it won't be long until we catch them, even with only 10 cars. I didn't look, I meant to look at the weather in this session before we jumped in, because that's going to change. We'll pretend this is the Saturday. That's when they ran the All-Star race, was on the Saturday. And so it'll be a new weather day when we get to the race. There's the first lap cars. There's Emmo. Looks like they're actually quite packed together up there. But yeah, it'll be a new day for the full race, so that might affect things a little bit too with the car setup. I think we're doing all right now. Nothing's overheating. Yeah, this track keeps you busy though. As far as an oval goes, it's very fast, very tight. I was watching the broadcast for it too, and they were talking about how this track surprisingly has some of the least tire wear out of all the tracks, at least in 1990. And Goodyear brought a thinner compound tire so that it would actually get up to temperature. I guess something to do with the track surface itself. Just the tires really didn't get up to temp and wear all that much. So there were, in this race, they talked about cars doing 2-tire pit stops, which is kind of weird in Indycar, since you've got 4 guys changing tires. You can just do all 4 of them. All right, we're closing in though on Mo, and yeah, it's like the bottom half of the field is all grouped together here. I think 6 cars all in a line, all stuck up behind Rick Mears, it looks like up there. So, or maybe Bobby Rahal, one of the yellow cars. Oop, some passing going on. Yeah, I think it's actually Rick Mears. They're all caught up behind. Bobby Rahal's in the middle of the pack. And it looks like Teo Fabi's actually trying to get around Bobby. But we'll have to work our way nice and slowly through here. Little Al's not that far behind me, so I can't take forever with this. But still quite a ways to go. We're not even half tank of fuel yet. I'll have to figure out how much fuel I need for the second half of the race. We've already done almost 30 laps. All right. Bobby's sweeps out wide. Nobody wants to go a lap down in this race. You might as well pull into the pits if you go a lap down. I got a little run on Emo here, but he's going to take the line into the corner. You need to really be alongside an AI car to actually make a pass in this game. So that's my pro tip to anybody trying to race the AI is you need to be at a minimum 50% alongside to know that they're not going to turn into you. But here we go, Emo on the high side. Oh, that one's going to be really tight. Almost broke my own rule there. He actually swept out wide though. Oh, and here comes little Al. All right, I got to get around Emo here. He's quite quick in a straight line, so it's not easy to get alongside of him. Bobby's getting around Bobby Rahal up there, though. Here we go, a little bit of a run on Emo, so come down to the kink. Oh, man, that's not comfortable. We're going to have to do that a lot in the full race, though. All right, so dispatch Emo. Unser is, yeah, he's right on my tail. Bobby looks down low, trying to get back on Teo. These two go side by side through the kink. I don't know how you do that. We just got to worry about Bobby trying to make a move at the same time that I try to make a move on him. I think little Al is actually stuck behind Emo now. He's trying to get around him. So I've got a little bit of breathing room. I'm not sure where I'm going to do this. Oh, Bobby goes out wide. We'll take advantage of that. Maybe got the word that the leader was behind him. Oh, Fabi's. I was just saying, I don't know if you can go too wide there, but there I go. All right, so we get one of them. All right, one at a time here. I don't need to break any records. We're halfway on fuel. We'll see what lap this is. 63 to go. All right, so we can go like, what can we do? 74 laps on fuel. Wow, so we really only need like another 25. We'll do 25 gallons at the stop. It's gonna be a quick stop. There's still enough time to change tires though, so we'll still change tires. Get around Fabi there. So you'll see the pit board each time I come past the start finish. That'll show you my current position as well as how many laps to go. So 61 laps to go. So we're now up behind Mario. Little Al's gotten around Fabi and Emerson behind Bobby as well. So, all right, we'll come down low on Mario. Take the line away. I think that's where I have to do it. That's the most comfortable place to pass, although it's a bit terrifying. Come up behind Mears again. Repeat of the early laps. Have to get around him. If I can get around Mears here, we should be good for a little while. I don't see anybody else up the road. Not close enough this time to do it. Onser Jr. almost thinks about it there. Out of the final corner, a little bit of a run down the front stretch. But we'll get him through turn one or the kink there. That's so scary. All right, run away. Little Al got around him just as I did though, so we're right in a line, battling. .58 laps to go, though. Now, with the one stopper, well, you just have to look at my fuel at halfway, and that's how you know exactly how much you need to do the other half. If you're running the same pace, which really should be. 57 laps to go. So yeah, we'll need maybe like 30 gallons of fuel, maybe a little bit less than that to make it. Yeah, this track is definitely good for IndyCars. This was originally a dirt track, believe it or not. A mile dirt track that's kind of oddly shaped, and was very popular dirt track in the 60s and through the 70s, I think even through the 80s, and then was purchased by Penske, I believe as a testing track, essentially. Maybe it was, I don't actually know the reason why the Speedway was up for sale. I imagine there was maybe some financial problems with the dirt track. They put it up for sale. Penske purchased it and revamped it into a paved oval. And originally the idea was to use it as a test track, but then shortly after they started running some races here in the late 80s, late 80s, and was a feature through the kart years for many years. Yeah, we should be doing our fastest laps since the fuel's burning off. Just got to keep ahead of the car. On an oval especially, it's just easy for the car to catch you out as the fuel comes off. That was an awful turn 3, or turn 4, or whatever turn it is. But Nazareth Speedway is still there. Nothing, to my knowledge, has been built on top of it, but it has been very much, I mean, all the grandstands are gone. Most of the structures, I think there's like one building that's still there, but the paved track is still there, albeit it's had some bulldoze work done to it, I think, to stop folks from trying to do like street racing and stuff. But it has been, you know, slowly reclaimed by nature over the years, and it is at an unsalvageable state. You'd have to kind of rebuild it if you wanted to. I think there was some news a few years ago about somebody buying the property, but it was not in interest to do motorsports of any kind. And it is interesting, the Andretti's, you know, called Nazareth home, Nazareth, Pennsylvania home, so this was really their home track. And it's such a shame it doesn't still exist, especially because really nothing's been done with it. So like, why did it go away? I believe it, in my opinion, was just kind of lost in that NASCAR shuffle of the late 90s, where NASCAR stopped having series go to independent races and started having them kind of more centralized at the big NASCAR tracks. And this one fell by the wayside. All right, we're coming to, I think this is halfway. We got 12 gallons, so we'll actually need a little bit more fuel than I was thinking. I think we'll do 30 to be safe. I don't know, it's just tight. I'm only 0.3 seconds ahead of Little Al. We'll do maybe 28. I don't know. I don't want to run out of fuel here, but I don't want to take longer than I have to on the pit road, because I think that's going to be the difference here. All right, another slower car in front. I think it's Ari Lyondike. All right, 10 gallons of fuel. something that like I was saying earlier, this is the NASCAR 99 version of this track, and something that this one gets right is the elevation change on this circuit. The front stretch here is actually a little bit uphill, and then the track kind of goes downhill here, back uphill a little bit into the corner, flattens out. You can see it kind of rise through this whole corner. It's not a perfect oval by any stretch. It's actually quite interesting. It's fun to drive. Little Al is really keeping me honest today. He is right on the back. He's right off the back of me. All right. Now we could do a thing in pit here and not have to pass the lapped cars, but then we have to hope it stays green if I do that. But that could ultimately save me some time. But I will be on heavier fuel if I do that, which I don't think I want to do that. I don't know. See how long it takes me to catch up to these guys. Should be a couple more laps. We're getting close to the end, but this is when I'm doing my best laps, so pitting now would be bad. I'll be on cold tires and full fuel and everything. I mean, there's always a chance of a yellow if somebody decides to spin out or blow an engine or something. Yeah, I definitely have to change tires. My right sides are worn. Pack of lap traffic's up ahead. Might try to take these two as Ari sweeps out wide, cuts down back low. Come on. Almost got me there. Whoa, there's little Al Allenson Jr.'s in the pits actually behind me. All right, I'm going to do the same because I think I'm going to lose more time trying to get around these guys than I would on cold tires. Oh, Mario in front, I think pits as well. Or is that Michael? I don't know. Come on. So slow on the warm-up road. Keep it under 80. Dang, that was not the best pit entry. Yeah, it's a very low chance of a caution. I did not put enough fuel in the car. I have done this before where I put, oh no! Michael hit me. That was his fault. I had not put enough fuel in this car. What am I gonna do here? Come out of the pits, see where I'm at position-wise. What is happening? It's fill 2, and I pit early. So we're gonna have to save fuel. I've turned the boost down a bit. Let's see what position I'm in. I'm still in first, so let's try to save fuel while I can. I've done this before where it's fill 2 on the fuel thing, and I always come in. So we're screaming on the radio right now with the crew chief. I can't believe you guys have done this again. It's not my fault, it's the crew chief. But it's fill 2 on the, oh, we should be okay. We should be okay, right? Says we can go 61 laps. That's way more than we need. Did I overfill it anyway? Okay, I think I thought I messed up. Let's get that boost going again. I think I put in way less than I wanted to, but it is way more than I need. How did I miscalculate that so bad? Ignore me. I don't know what I'm doing. A little mini heart attack there. I thought I screwed this up. It's been going so well. All right, Little Al's right on me. We're coming up to Emo again. Put him another lap down, I think. Let my tires come up to temp for a second there. Just understeer a bit. Just gonna try to find a good way to get around. MO. There's really nothing I can do up here. Whoa! Little Al went for it and took me out of the race. What is that? That's such a believable crash. Oh my god. Ugh. That's such a believable crash to have that happen. I'm not even mad about that. That was fun. All right. Let's see what happened. Yeah, this is the test race, but he went for it. He thought he spotted the opportunity there into turn one. Man, he hit a ton. That would have hurt him a little bit. Dang. We're gonna watch every angle of this one. This is just the all-star race. I am shocked in all my years. I am shocked he went for that move. I did not really give him space, so I'm shocked the AI thought that was something they could do. Let's watch it from on board with Little Al. Come down through the kink. He's out wide. Running the high line. Okay. Okay. I'm not sure there's a gap there, Little Al. Yeah, nobody's defending this move. That I am shocked that he thought like breaking the third wall in the game itself. I'm shocked that the AI thinks that that's actually possible. This is a lot tighter than usually they would do. So yeah, we got to get this on Sim Racing Stewards. He went full. Yeah, I'm taking it no matter what there. Wow. Well, that has some no implications for anything except for this race, but that was a huge hit for Little Al. Come on, the game's fun. It was very believable type of crash that Little Al might have done around this time. That was fun. That was funny. All right, well, I guess we got to see what happens with the rest of the race here. Rest of the All-Star race, man, leading nearly every lap of the race. But took himself and me out of it with that move. All right, we'll watch the end now. 25 laps to go, and Danny Sullivan inherits the lead on his perfect, wonderful season that he's been doing. I don't think Ryan Axelson's the one that would have been too hurt there. That Little Al hit the wall a ton. All right, but they're back to racing now. So Danny Sullivan, Michael Andretti. So Danny Sullivan is nearly a full lap ahead of the whole field. That's why there's a 20-second gap there. He started behind Michael, Ari, and Bobby in traffic. So they're still technically in the lead lap, but unless there's another yellow here, I think Danny could kind of cruise to victory in this. Yeah, it's a bummer that it always says DNF for you as well. The only time it doesn't say DNF is when you have a failure in the car. I couldn't get the track map to work, SK. It's not working for me on the rendition version. No restart needed. This is, if you joined late, this is just the all-star race. We're going to be doing the full race here in a second. And we'll have to avoid Little Al for it. All right. So there it is, the results of the all-star race. They didn't do waiver rounds back in the 90s and 80s. So the leader, if the first car that gets caught by the pace car is behind the pace car. And so if the leader's at the end of the pack, then the cars in front of him could still be on the lead lap. And that's what happened here. Yeah, you have to imagine he'd be a little sore after that crash. But yeah, Penske winning at Nazareth. But yeah, Danny Sullivan wins it ahead of Michael Andretti, who really, he didn't have much speed. So it'll be interesting to see. But he did lead 6 laps at some point. Had Ari Leyendijk, Bobby Ray Hall, and Mario gets a top 5. Rick Mears, Teo Fabi. Hey, Teo Fabi beat 4 of us, so the slander is maybe not deserved. He did finish, albeit 1 lap down, but he did beat Emerson on pace, so not doing too bad there. But then Emerson Fittipaldi back into 8th. Ryan Axelson and Alan Sir Jr., after coming together, have a little crash. That was fun. Honestly, that ended up being way more fun than I thought it was going to be. We get towed away from the scene. You have to go to the backup car for the full race. Let's can I save? How do I save the results? There we go. Alsta. It's like I'm a local. All right. All right. So we got to do the full race now. I'm going to take a quick break to get some more coffee, and then we'll set things up to do the full race here in just a second. So I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I should have put a little music on or something for you all. But all right, let's set things up, and I'm gonna restart IndyCar 2 to make sure we give it the best chances possible for everything to go well. But we'll go back to the proper 90 set. The only difference, I had to change the order of the cars because Teo Fabi's not the 10th car. Eddie Cheever is, and Eddie Cheever did not make the All-Star race, so had to move up Teo Fabi. That's how the game, if you didn't know, based off the number of cars that you've got set up, it'll always choose the top ones in the list, so the order of them matters. It is a pain to change the order of the cars. There's not really a great way to do it, but I used to use a tool, and I don't know if Taka or SK are here still, but I used to use that tool, IndyCar Racing 2 Manager, to do the order of the cars, but it corrupts all my car sets now. I don't know why. When I try to use that, it sure got nothing on. When I try to use that, it corrupts the car set. Oop, I'm probably gonna get copyright strike now. That song is unfortunately copywritten. That's a bummer. All right, let me get all this set up here. Yeah, anytime I play even like a second of that song, it gets nabbed. All right, so we'll set ourselves up here for the full race. I got to kind of reset and try to get back in the groove for doing a full race. Man, I don't know what I did wrong with the fuel there and my calculations for it, but I don't want to do that in the full race. Definitely don't want to do that in the full race. All right, we'll come back into the championship season, though. So, start over. We're in the championship now. The All-Star race is behind us. A dramatic, I mean, that would have been a dramatic race if it had been on the broadcast. You imagine that I did some pretty good passing towards the start of that, and then at the end, as Allenser Jr. is trying to look for a way around Ryan Axelson as they're battling through traffic, they make contact. Ambitious move from Allenser Jr. All right, Nazareth, though, round 15. If you weren't here last time, like I mentioned earlier, we've basically taken our. I think technically, very mathematically, there's a chance if Danny Sullivan, Michael Andretti, and Allenser Jr., or especially Danny Sullivan and Michael Andretti, had some misfortunes, which is never impossible, but both of them having big issues would be quite a special event. And Danny's going to have 2 bad races in a row, essentially. But you never know. That's why we're doing it. But I basically took myself out of the championship with a silly move under caution last race at Road America. But we got to do the final 2 races, and we'll try to get some more wins at least to get the win total up there. Danny Sullivan, though, leading the points, not so far ahead of Michael Andretti. It'll be fun to watch that championship battle as it wraps up for the season. But Allenser Jr. still within reach, so I would like to at least get 3rd in the championship, so we'll battle. Man, that's another thing to think about with that incident. Allenser Jr. was maybe trying to show his stuff to hold on to 3rd in the championship. Who knows? But Emo's, unless I got another bad couple of races here, Emo's pretty far ways behind as we go through the rest of the top 10. But we'll come on to Nazareth, round number 15 of the season. And, yeah, hopefully this will go. It was going really well in the All-Star race, so I'm excited about my speed, but I don't know. The pass in the first corner, I'm going to have to be aware of that. I really didn't think he would go for a move there. But let's make sure we got the full grid. It's a very short grid today. It is only 22 cars. Just get this going again. There we go. It's only 22 cars, which is what they had in real life here. So it's a very short grid, but this track is so small that it's honestly fine. Yeah, definitely not over a cup of coffee. Yeah, 22 is enough here. I thought about raising it because you can change that. You could definitely squeeze at least a couple more cars on here, if you wanted to be ambitious about a 26, but it would honestly be too many. Never afraid to win. Half of this is just getting to the end of the race. Wow, they're very slow on the pit access road. I mean, honestly, that's kind of a big advantage I could have. Get around Scott Brayton there. We'll just do a couple quick laps just to reset myself before we'll jump into qualifying again. I tried to lower the volume of the game a little bit. I don't know if it's too loud. Just let me know. Let me know if you can't hear me too well. Practice pit entry, although with full fuel it's not so useful, but we'll just do a quick pit entry here. Everything seems like it's working all right. Yeah, I can really go pretty fast here. I'm not sure if that's the line. I'm not sure if it starts here or back there. It probably starts here, but we'll maybe do it back there just to. I do need to change the text. Thank you, Eric. I would have missed that. There we go. Round 15, Nazareth. Try to center it. Round 15, Nazareth. There we go. Thank you. Okay. Everything's working. It seems. Well, except for that. Sometimes it glitches like that, but it's fine if it does. Okay, so let's go on to the next session, and we'll do some qualifying here. I'll take a quick look at the grid. So, man, if I can get my match my pole position from the first one, that would be ideal. But we'll see. Back of the grid, Dominic Dobson right now, the 172. 172, which is not very good. We should be able to beat some of these guys, but that's so slow. The traffic today is going to be nuts. AJ Foyt just ahead of him, not doing so well on the little oval. Didier Thays, Mike Croft, Scott Brayton come to the top. We'll go through the whole thing after, but yeah, they've only done a 178. So if I match my 179 from the All-Star Race qualifying, we should do quite well. I didn't look at the weather as it was for the All-Star Race, so I don't know if it's hotter or colder, but that definitely makes a difference. It's 76 degrees with a 9-mile-per-hour northwest wind. It's a simple weather system, but it is quite nice. All right, but let's try here. Try here to get pole position again. That would be ideal. Definitely want to start in the front few rows if I can to avoid some of the chaos. The starts here are not easy. The one for the All-Star Race went pretty well starting on the pole, but if I'm in the middle of the pack, it's very tricky. Yeah, AI don't care about the weather, but your car does. It's kind of a bummer that AI don't care about it, but it also helps keep it dynamic that the race won't be the same every time. So I take it more as your car is performing differently on that day, which is kind of a neat way to look at it. All right. Green flag, first lap. Did not get the turn in there that I needed to go flat. Give it one click of rear bar. This is not going to be a great first lap. Come across just 14th. That's very bad. Nearly flat, scrape of the wall. Right after the kink. Should be all right. It was a very light touch. Be just like a quick puff of dust you would have saw. Oh, really aggressive turn in for turn 3. Still pushed a bit wide. We'll keep flat on it. Across the line. All right. Oh, that scared me for a second. Pole position, matching the All-Star Race, although I think that lap was slightly slower. It was not as good of a lap feeling. But thankfully won't be starting 14th. That would be a real difficult start to be mid-pack like that. And look who is behind me, Hugo. Unser Jr. He'll be starting right alongside of me is what it's going to be. All right. Let's look at the standings, though. So, getting the pole again. Maybe need to up the speed of the AI a little bit for the pole speed, but I'll take it. Oh, this is like my 6th or 7th pole of the season. Doing quite well in qualifying. It's the races that have been going well. But Allenser Jr. starts alongside the front row. So we'll try not to recreate the All-Star Race wherever possible. Danny Sullivan, though, it starts in the second row inside. It's going to be right behind me. Alongside Raul Boisel. Michael Andretti and Teo Fabi then start back in row number 3 with Bobby Rahal and John Andretti in row 4. All the way back in the 5th row is Rick Mears and Emerson Fittipaldi. Penske not doing super well with with a couple of their cars. Had a Scott Goodyear, Eddie Cheever, Ari Leindyke. Mario's back in 14th, ahead of Randy Lewis. Really bad for Mario there. Roberto Guerrero's back in 16th, ahead of Dean Hall. Scott Brayton, Mike Groff, Didier Thays, AJ Foyt, and Dominic Dobson. 22-car grid, short grid, I think shortest of the season. But no less exciting because this track is super small. All right, let's do it then. So I'm gonna actually just save the results from qualifying in case something weird happens, and go in. Why can't I load the garage suddenly? What? What's going on? Hold on. I love old games sometimes. Have I ever told you about how much I love old games? Let's see here. Let's see if it works. There we go. Very odd. Yeah. So there's an issue with this version of the game, the rendition version, where it's got a limited amount of memory that wasn't a factor in the DOS version, and many of the car sets and tracks take much more memory than the game was built for, and so they just don't work. That's why we haven't been able to, or it wasn't easy at first to try to use all the add-on tracks and stuff in this version of the game. But there's been a couple tools made that help reduce some of it, and I thought I had it working here. But anyways, it loaded the second time. It's kind of weird, but we'll take it, I guess. It's quite a bit cooler for the race, 71 degrees, but we got our good setup loaded. And let me just get the proper telemetry going. And then we'll get going with the 1990, what is it, the Champion Spark Plug 200? That's usually what they called it. But round 15 of the 1990 championship. Try to do a good race here. It's going to be a pretty fast one as far as these races go, but no less difficult than many of the others. Try to just get away from Allister Jr. here off the line. Should need 2 pit stops today. We'll stop, if it was just green the whole way, we'll stop and get a full tank of fuel after about 75 laps, pit again, and maybe fill it to 30 gallons and then go to the end. My famous fuel calculations though. The Bosch, okay, different spark plugs. All right, the pace car though dips to the low side, and we just can't pass the pace car, but I would like to get a better jump in this start than I did in the last one. Can't pass the pace car till the green comes out. Man, he got such a better start than me. So there comes little Al at the outside. I think Raul Boisel going with him. Come through turn number 1. What is that? Both Porsches come in. Oh, Andrew, I can't read that. That was such a bad start. Try to get away from it though. All right, just settle in here. Settle in. Got a long ways to go. It's a full 200 lap race this time. 199 laps to go. All right, we got Michael Andretti behind me. Bobby's in front here at the 4 car. The car is understeering so much. Give it a clicker rear bar. It feels so different on full fuel than it did in qualifying. Also, the colder temperatures actually probably going to hurt me the most because it takes a while for the tires to come up to temp, and it's just going to make it harder. Nice little pack. Nobody's running away fully though. It's quite packed up here, so we'll just give it a little second here. I think Danny Sullivan has slotted in behind me. He might be on a charge here in the early laps as John Andretti's trying to get around Boisel. I can see. Well, Fabi sweeps out wide a bit. Come down on the low side onto the backstretch. Understeer a lot there. I had to get out of it, but he's still behind me. We'll come down into turn 3, just ahead. There we go. All right, pick up 1 spot. P4 now, 196 laps then. This is coming to me. I feel pretty fast. That was a terrible start, but the fact that these guys aren't running away at all is quite good for me. But it is early days. Yeah, John Andretti is very fast. I'm not sure what's going on. Boiselle as well. This is really interesting front of the pack. Whoa, John Andretti opens the door on the low side. Turns 3 and 4 will come around. Get around him just before the start line. That's the easiest way to get around somebody here. Yeah, sometimes they're looking for that high line into turn 3 and open up the door. And that's definitely when you want to take advantage. Boiselle is very close to Allenser Jr. and might be trying to look for it here. He also opens the door for me. It's a bit cheap, but honestly, I'll take that. All right on the back of Little Al now. The whole field has basically moved out of my way here as I'm working towards the front. But thank you, Andrew, for the super chat. I couldn't read it when it scrolled across. I'll have to go back and take a look at it, but that's very kind. All right. Just thinking back on that All-Star race. Want to try to find a clean way around Little Al here. We'll no doubt know who's behind him. A lot of speed. I'm much faster than Little Al, so let's just take our time. Scare him into turn number 1. It would be cool if you could intimidate people like that. Oh, this Boiselle. I got to keep an eye behind me, too. I can't play around with Allenser Jr. too much here. We're also going to be catching lap traffic pretty soon, and that's where things will get really chaotic, so it'd be good to get around him before then. Just trying to get a nice run coming out of turn number 2 down the backstretch, maybe. There we go. It's a little far back, but we'll dive it in. We'll slide the car there a little. We'll make that work. All right, really kind of push Allenser Jr. out of the way. I think Boiselle's going to try to get around him too, which is good for me. Just run away. And we got the first lap traffic in front. I think it's AJ Foyt. AJ not up to speed, the old Copenhagen car. Just try to get around him nice and gently here. First lap traffic passed. Yeah, they're much, much slower than we are. Very realistic, but very tricky. It's going to keep me on my toes the entire race here. Got one more car up ahead. All right, so we're in the lead. Boiselle is the car behind me, 1 second off. It's like nobody wants to win this race today. There's nobody really fast behind me that I've seen yet. It's one thing to be fast, but to win the race, you got to actually do it. So just try my best here. Maybe we'll lap the whole field today. That'll be that would be the goal. All right. Didier Thays here in the Granatelli car. We'll just settle in for the long stints, and hope nobody crashes in front of me. I've been doing a lot of IndyCar 2 lately, because of the widescreen version and all that, and so slice and dice them. Yeah, just doing a lot of racing in this lately, and I was doing a race around Surfers Paradise with the 1993 cars, and there's one situation that is just almost impossible to avoid in this game, and it's if there's a caution that comes out while you're right behind somebody, and I was slipstreaming, drafting, whatever you want to call it, Paul Tracy down the front stretch at Surfers Paradise. You're going like 160, 170 miles an hour past the start-finish line there, and I was right tucked in behind him because I was going to jump out for turn 1, and a yellow flag came out right as I was there, and I just nailed him. He jumped on the brakes right away. There's no way to avoid that, so you have to hope today. I'm a bit gun shy because of that at this point. I have to hope no yellow flags come out while I'm immediately following somebody, because it's really tough to avoid. So far, so good. We're under control here. I feel very fast compared to everybody. I don't know what's going on. You just saw that it was pretty competitive in the last race as, was this Barbaza? Jeff Wood, I think. That was bad. All right, they move out of the way. I'll take it with the lap traffic, especially. Guerrero as well. Got Eddie Cheever in front of them. Done 20 laps already. 10% of the race is behind us. Thought Eddie was going to let me up the inside there. I almost did what Allister Jr. did to me. Mike Garafia. Always forget who's in the red cars. Nice clear track here. And 4 seconds up on John Andretti behind. Man, what a run for Porsche today. Yeah, this is the same AI file as I've been running all season, same ratings and everything. It's just, it does do a good job at making it dynamic, but it's early times. I've had a few races in the past where it feels like I'm so much advantaged, and then either craziness happens or somebody gets faster as the race goes. So I would say it's early days to claim victory. But yeah, John Andretti in second, very strange. John Andretti's been fast at points in the season, but never second place fast. I don't know, you've got me worried that I somehow chose the wrong car set, but I don't think I did. I chose the 1991. And when you build a car set, all the drivers their performance is specified within a range. And so when you start a race, it randomly picks how fast how much power they'll have, how much traction they'll have, how aggressive they'll be within a range that you define. And so everybody must have got the low side today, because I'm just running away with this right now. Nice and easy. All right, Bozell jumps around John for second. A little less surprising that Bozell would be up front, but even still, he's not generally up front either. Yeah, Michael's been coming up the pack, so maybe that's the one to worry about. Yeah, every pit stop, I don't know if we know exactly how much it will randomize, but it changes some of the stats a little bit when they go through pit stops. And I've also seen, like, towards the end of the race, some drivers just seem faster than others. All right, jump up the inside of Dobson, though. Wow, he squeezes me. Dang. Generally, they'll jump out of the way for you. Another thing I got to watch out for here is cars pitting. The pit entry, they'll sweep down on the backstretch, so if you're on the low side, it can be quite easy to get caught out there. What is the purpose of the numbers at the bottom? To me, where it says laps, that's the prediction of how many laps I can do on my fuel. And it really is just reflective of your current boost output. and throttle position, so that's why it changes so much. constantly moving the throttle around. But it gives you a rough estimate. It's probably pretty accurate to how accurate those things were back in the early 90s. Randy Lewis there. All right, we are really doing well today so far. Bozel's in second. John Andretti somehow in third. Coming up halfway on fuel almost. I've seen one of the Penske cars in front. It's probably Emo. You all know because you can see the full standings. I can't glance over that easily. Tap of the wall there. Don't do that. It didn't damage the car, thankfully. All right, come on. Basically my race to lose at this moment. So we can see some of the faster cars here in front. I think it's Mario up there. It's obviously Lyondike ahead. Just to plot these moves nice and easily. Bozel's 8 seconds behind. I got plenty of time to figure this out. Trying to get around AJ Foyt here. Well, it holds up Emo a bit. This is the trickiest stuff, is when you're trying to pass cars that are also trying to pass other cars. Everybody gets a bit more erratic. Scott Goodyear up on the outside there. So we have a little bit of a low side run on Emo down the backstretch. You have to be ultra careful here. I'm just really taking my time trying to get through the traffic. All right. Guerrero there, everybody working around. He holds it high. I didn't know he was going to do that though. Emo's going to try to come back around me here. I'll try to get a nice run onto the backstretch, though. Guerrero's not super slow. He holds it wide. All right, get around the low side then. We got Eddie Cheever here in front, too. We'll slap between the two of them. Guerrero. Wow, this is full concentration, just trying to make sure to plot these moves nice and steady. We're over half tank of fuel. All right, 150. So we did about 40 laps, a little less than 40 laps on a tank. So yeah, if we pit at lap 75 and then 150, we'll need, that 28 gallons or so would be conservative to make it to the end. Well, I can see there was a retirement there too. I don't know who it was, but car out of the race. Fabi, okay, so the Porsche, it was too many miles to do the All-Star race and the full distance race on the Porsche, I would say. All right, so we got battles for position in front. Scott Goodyear on Arie Luyendyk, and it's going to be tricky to get around. Still 6.3 seconds up. I've lost a couple seconds to Bozel, but he's really not having too much of an issue. Looks like Mears is up to third, actually, which is quite good. He started pretty far down, so we got to keep an eye on Mears here. Maybe Rocket Rick's got a little something in the tank today. Goodyear thinks better of it on Arie. got a car jumping into the pits ahead. One of the slow ones. Goodyear fades out wide, cuts back down low. Dang. If you tuned in late and are wondering what all the timing and stuff is, this is SK's new timing app that he's making for Indycar 2, and allows me to see the full standings of the race, or allows you all really to see the full standings. I don't really have time to look at it, although it's an overlay, so you can put it on top of the screen if you want to. But I thought that might be fun, so you all can see how everybody is doing during the race, not just the top 5. Monitoring the gap behind, but it's just I haven't found a good time to get around Scott Goodyear here. And we got a lot of lap traffic ahead. This is just how this race is. It's going to be lap traffic the whole time. As everybody scoots around, trying to get around, I think Foyt. It's Dobson in front. Well, as Mario gets held out behind Dobson, won't be happy about that. Fellow Haviland sponsored car. All right, scoot up the inside. Dobson is very slow, so it's easy. It's harder on these fast cars though to find a good way around. It's like 2-3 wide, trying to get through the kink there. As Didier Thays runs a little bit out wide, and Granatelli's machine will scoot up the inside of him. Bobby Rahal on the outside here. I don't know if he's a lap down or not. Well, it's gonna be in a minute. I'm the leader. I keep forgetting. We just need to get it so that it's not a mix of really slow cars with the cars I'm trying to get around. Oh, 3 wide there with Dean Hall on the outside. Scott Goodyear on the outside there might have been able to force the issue, but Bozell has caught up so much. I'm really caught up here. He's 2 seconds back now. All right, it's so early in the race, and I know I'm a lot faster than him, so I'm not that worried about it. I just need to. I think the lap traffic is the main thing that could take me out of this today. So the hope is for that not to happen as we get up the inside of Goodyear. But yeah, it's just not quite enough to make it work. Rick Mears just overtaken into second. All right, I'm a little more frightened of Rick because he has worked up a lot of the field to get up to second, and we don't know how fast he is compared to me. He's 2.5 seconds off, though. I'll keep an eye on that. I really need to get around this group. It's still too early to pit. I mean, technically we could pit, but we would lose a lap, and if there's a yellow flag, we'd really have a tough day. So really got to stretch this to the end of the tank to be safe. Wow, this is so frustrating. So many lap cars ahead. I'm in the, like, it feels non-stop here. All right, get around maybe Scott Goodyear there because he gets held up behind Randy Lewis. Oh, finally, patience pays. Mario Andretti back there. Gets caught up behind, who's this, Randy Lewis again? Come on the low side of Randy. So sketchy. Yeah, I see a little yellow car back there behind me, and try not to think about it. I think I might be faster than Mears if I can just get into some clean road, but that's not easy to do around here as everybody is stuck up behind Foyt to get on the grass a little bit there. Oh, here comes Scott Goodyear again. I do not want to have to get around him again. All right, we'll come down the low side on Foyt into the kink. Scoot in front of him before it happens. All right, a little bit of, I would call this clear track compared to what I've had so far. This is pretty clear. Let's see if we can get around Mario here. I need to open up my turn one. I'm really keeping it so tight to the bottom that it's hurting me. All right, we'll get on the inside of Mario, take advantage of this clear road. as Mario decides to hold it in there. Man, Mario's never easy to pass. All right, 10 gallons of fuel left though, a quarter tank. All right, Bozell is overtaking Mears again. We're gonna have to fight through that traffic too, and probably can do it faster than I did, but well, that was really intense. I don't know how that looks. It might look like I'm taking it so cautiously, but it's just trying not to run into somebody is really the name of the game around this. Oh yeah, we'll be pitting in just about 15 laps or so, I bet. Two stopper. Second time we won't need to quite fill up. It's Bobby Rahal now in front here. We're lapping well into the top 10 now, which is good. Really been dominant so far in the race. I think I've got a little bit more downforce than these guys because I can really get through the corners there. But it's the straights, they're fast. But it's working for me. I don't want to change the setup. I could take some wing off in the pits, but you never know what that'll do to the car. Spoil my my good balance. All right, we got cars pitting. Everybody's starting to jump into the pits. It's well within the window to make it, but I'm going to stay out here for a little bit. Yeah, I think I could maybe. Oh, all right, these guys are diving in the pits. Let's give me some clean road finally. Yeah, I think I could probably work on the setup a bit, but I'm leading the race. I've led from the start. I don't feel like I'm being super contested, so why change it? It's just a little hard to pass lapped cars because I'm not quite as fast in a straight line as I probably should be. Yeah, everybody's pitting now, quite a bit earlier than we really need to. I wonder if tires are. Well, tires are getting pretty worn. I might pit as well. And then we've got 6 gallons of fuel left. There's Randy Lewis there on the outside. Go one more lap around here, but then I'll come into the pits. We'll get a full tank, 4 tires. Yeah, setup. I'm using almost the same exact setup as I did for the 89 race. Just a little different steering rotation happening. All right, it's John Andretti coming out of the pits. We'll dive down, a couple more cars ahead, but mostly clear pit entry. Down to second gear. We'll use that line as the pit speed. I don't know if that's actually what it is or not. Coming to the stall. All right. Decent first stint. That was really intense. We could use a few more retirements, honestly. All right. Let's get it out of the pits then. One car entering. Try not to speed here. All right, just take it nice and easy. The car has got full fuel. It's going to be very lethargic because Allister Jr. around the outside there. I don't know if that was for position or not. I can't imagine I've lost the lead. I was passing everybody as they were pitting, but I think I might be putting Allister Jr. a lap down here. Oh, how the tables have turned, little Al. If you've tuned in after the start, I did the All-Star race before this, and it was going well as well until Little Al and I had it coming together. Very much his fault. I think without a doubt we can say that was his fault. All right, Munster getting held up here. Oh, really to the outside. Dobson. Yeah, I gained a lot on the pits. I might have to might have to redo the AI a bit to get them to be faster through the pits. We'll take it. We're on something else today. Let's give this a second. We're trying to work around Foyt. We got 3 very slow cars, but Foyt is by far the slowest here. All right, Dobson slides out wide. Get up behind Foyt then. Hopefully get him down the backstretch. And if that seems ridiculous, how slow they are, go watch some of these races from this time. They're very slow lap traffic, and it's what makes some of these mile ovals so exciting. Is the nature of the lap traffic. I just watched 1993 New Hampshire, the New England race again. It has got to be at least a top 10, if not a top 5 IndyCar race. It is so fun to watch. Paul Tracy, Nigel Mansell, Emerson Fittipaldi duking it out around the mile oval. Trying to split lap traffic, trying to make moves on each other. The lead changes at least a dozen times in the final laps. Scott Brayton here on the outside. All right, we are now understeering a little bit. Just gonna get the tires are just very, very difficult coming out of the pits. The car is a lot slower. Doing well. We are really in control of this race. I got 7 seconds on Boiselle. There's a pack of 3 cars behind me. Boiselle, Mears, and Michael Andretti are all fighting for second, essentially. But I'm quite far up the road. We've got some nice clear track right now, so I'll try to take advantage of this. I don't know if Paul Tracy did. I don't know if he was racing yet in night. I know he came around. He started racing, or a Penske test driver. I think he did a couple Dale Coyne races, right? Maybe in 1990, but yeah, I think it was 91 that he started racing for Penske. 92, he split his time between Rick Mears' car on the road circuits and then the beautiful Mobile One car. That's one of the best looking Indy cars, I think. All right, we're right on Allenser Jr. here, though. Nice run coming out of the final corner. We'll get on the low side as we come towards the kink. Just get in front of him there. Tries to hang it in. Will Al just won't give up. Come on, buddy. Going a lap down. This isn't your day. I just need to watch for him behind me, trying to make another lunge to get his lap back. We've got a little bit of slow traffic in front. I think it's John Andretti. He's no longer in second position. He's getting held up behind Dean Hall here. Allenser Jr. now is going to take advantage of that and jump on my high side. This is now fun. All right, let's get around. Hopefully both of them here as we come down. Get stuck up behind AJ again. A little sketchy there. Right, come underneath Randy Lewis. Really send it in there just to get the pass done. Yeah, okay, 6th place is still pretty good for Porsche, that's for sure. Fabi's out of the race, long out. Only retirement so far is Teo Fabi, an electrical issue. I think John Andretti's a good example of how the AI kind of changed throughout the race. He went into the pits, maybe they fit kind of a worse set of tires, or the engine's starting to wear out, but he's a little bit slower now than he was earlier in the race. Michael Andretti's up to 2nd now. He's almost 10 seconds behind me. We're really about a half a lap ahead of the field now. This really feels like my race to lose. Yeah, kind of waiting for a yellow flag. That's going to be, that'll change things a bit if it happens, but Eddie Cheever sticks it in the high side there. Didier Théas thought he might look underneath. Yeah, he does look underneath Dominic Dobson there. We'll get both of them down the front stretch. All right, not too far away from halfway. So it feels like a long race today because I already did 100 laps, or almost 100 laps of this, but still not quite halfway through the big one. Things sorting out nicely now. Yeah, I've got a really good lead now, so no chances need to be taken. Just drive the car, nice and easy. We should be okay nibbling the grass a little bit, but it's you don't want to fully get your inside wheels on it. But to get around the slow cars and be safe, you kind of have to touch the grass a little bit. Yeah, the top 5 outside of myself is really close together. It's a close battle, but we're just a bit quicker than everybody. Yeah, over 10 seconds now. We're coming up on Mario again. All right, nice and steady here. Dive it underneath Mario. He's just riding now. Scott Goodyear again. So this is a couple of the cars I was stuck behind Scott so much during the first stint. They're both trying to pass the slow car here and get up the inside of Scott. Oh, this is sketchy. Once again be stuck up behind Scott as he and Emo are dueling, but they're trying to get past Randy Lewis or Mike Groff, one of them. All right, we'll get Emo there. Maybe not. Yeah, I really have to chicken out of it, especially with not having the widescreen here. It's really tough to judge what's to the left and to the right of you. All right, Mike Groff slips to the outside. These two I'm gonna get stuck up behind AJ Foyt. Man. All right, nice and patient here. This is what tests you. As Scott Goodyear gets around the outside of him, I should be able to split the low side. We got Newman Haas's everywhere behind me. That can't be Michael. I just see one Newman Haas. I don't know. He's run away. Maybe I saw him in both mirrors. Scott is still being a pain. He's got quite, I think he's quite aggressive. And now I have them set up, and Yeah, it makes them difficult to pass, especially when you're trying to be safe about it. All right, Michael's gained a couple seconds, but nothing to be worried about yet. Just nice and easy here. We got a little bit of track. We can focus on Scott here for a second. My hope is that he'll try to pass Emo and I can get him at the same time. Not quite fast enough to do it there. All right, one more lap to halfway. starting to count them down already. Yeah, we should be good. If I actually make it to the end of the tank, we only need an additional 28 gallons of fuel in my second stop. 26 maybe, but we'll do 28 to be safe. So we're almost in the pit window for the final stop. Wow, these two. This isn't great. There's Allister Jr. He jumped up the inside. Whoa, John Andretti as well. What is going on here? Come on. I'm having a really tough time getting around Scott Goodyear safely today, and it's costing me a lot of time here. As John Andretti and Allister Jr. both get their laps back, we'll tip underneath Randy Lewis. All right, we'll get Emo here through the kink. Hopefully nice and safe. I don't know, like I can get around Emo easy, but Scott Goodyear is so hard to pass. He's just the right amount of fast on the straights that I can't really get side by side with him going into the corner. Here's John Andretti on the outside then. But Scott's gonna try to make a move on Dean Hall. This is too tight for me. So side by side with Allister Jr. through the kink. Dean slams the door a bit. All right, we'll get Dean here coming into turn 3 really tight. A little bit tighter than I like, but get around that pack at least. But John Andretti and Allister Jr. back a lap down. All right, still 96 laps to go. 7-second lead on Bozell. Closed in a few seconds, but it's still a good lead. It's quick for me to catch him, but he's just fast in the right spots. If you really take the high line there, thankfully no marbles on this track. Try to get a nice launch out of the final corner, down the front stretch, side by side. Whoa, really wheel to wheel there as we'll come up to the kink. I don't even know what position Scott's in, but he's just really keeping the pressure on today. Go. Finally get around Scott Goodyear. All right, this is quite a dangerous pack. I really just don't want Scott to get back around me, so try to figure this out. Thank you, AJ Foyt. Basically held up all of them for me. Kind of a narrow entry to the kink, but yeah, that was about as good as that could have gone. That'll actually give me quite a lot of space to the cars behind. I imagine they'll have a tougher time working through that than I did. I knew AJ was doing this race for a reason. He's so slow today, but all right, coming up on Ari now. So we're at 18 gallons of fuel left. And man, no yellow flags yet, which I'm honestly shocked. I really thought there would be a yellow flag at some point. It just takes a little spin from somebody. Everybody has been taking it easy today, I guess. Just under 90 laps to go. We all still need one more pit stop, and we're just about in the window. If the caution came out now, we could definitely make it to the end on fuel. I always thought it was funny that in 1995, when Scott Goodyear, was it Pac West that he raced for? Whatever team he raced for in 1995, they used Firestone tires, which I thought was interesting. Like, wouldn't Scott Goodyear have kind of a lifetime deal with the company Goodyear itself? Ari's going to be the issue now. Ari is also quite aggressive, I think. Got 8-second lead on Michaels back in second. Did Dennis Firestone use Goodyear tires? I mean, there were many years where you really could only use Goodyear tires. So that could explain it a little bit more. But yeah, we got Dennis Firestone on Goodyears and Scott Goodyear on Firestones. Somebody in a marketing department really messed up. Seems like a really an easy one for you. All right, Ari, a little bit slower there out of the final corner, able to get up the inside of him. We'll come into the kink. He's going to hold it in, but really I'll assert my lead there. Coming up on these slow cars really make you feel like you're going fast. Thank you, Punch a Waterfall. It's like Ronald McDonald eating a Subway. Yeah. Well, as I'm on the low side of Guerrero, we got a car coming out of the pits now. People might start pitting. It's a little bit early to pit, I would think. That makes me nervous about the low side here, though. As Ari goes for it. I let him by because I thought he might be going into the pits there. You kind of have to avoid them if they're going to pit. All right, able to get around both of them, I think, as we'll come down to the kink. Randy Lewis sticks it in there. Once again, sweep up and take his line through the first corner. A little risky there. Able to hold on to it. Or maybe that was a retirement going into the pits. I think it's a little early to do a pit stop. But we're definitely within range of a final stop now. Bozel's only 6 seconds behind. I had to slow up quite a bit there. Just gave it a second because I don't know if Foyt's going to jump into the pits too. That's going to be the difficult part of these next few laps. I really sent it into the final corner there. Nice and easy. I don't know what's going on today, this race. Seems like nobody's really got the setup hooked up like they usually do. You saw during the All-Star race that Allenser Jr. was very quick. I was expecting at least one or two cars to be very quick today, and it just hasn't happened, which sometimes, you know, the season has been so up and down at times that I guess I should just enjoy it. But I've got to close the deal now. It's definitely my race to lose today. We were faster than everybody. It's just the lap traffic that has been keeping them within contention. And we're coming up towards the final stop. Last chance for anybody to adjust something on the car. And we'll see how this all equals out. But if it stays green here, which it feels like it might, I'm just going to go till the car runs out of fuel. and short fill it, and we'll be on our way to the end. But everybody started pitting quite early last time, so that means they're probably going to come in even earlier this time compared to me, which gives me more of an advantage even. Inside of Brayton there, a little bit late on it. All right, do your days now. Again, late move into the third corner. All right, under 10 gallons, 72 laps to go. The end of this stint has started to get a bit easier traffic-wise. There's really nobody out of the race. It's incredible. As I say that, Scott Brayton gets a DNF, but pretty solid running still. There's 20 cars still out of the 22 starters. We've seen in a few races that be almost a dozen cars out by the end, but yeah, this one hasn't quite gotten there. All right, we got cars pitting now. Mario in front, not doing it yet. Yeah, Poit's so slow today. Imagine Mario's going to be peeling off for the pits here soon. Just kind of waiting for it. Mario's hard to pass. A lot of cars in the pits now. I got quite a bit of fuel left. Here comes Rick Mears out of the pits to see Rick for the first time today. Now they're going to be pretty slow because of the fuel. So that really gives me an advantage here in case I needed another advantage. Well, Rick keeps it in though. Yeah, he's not a slow car today, but he's just on strategy-wise right now quite a lot slower than I am. Oh, this is awful in front. I might take this opportunity to pit. We'll need a bit more. I'm going to just do like 34 gallons. So here comes Rick up the inside. Coming down the backstretch this time and work towards the pit lane. Mario's going to pit as well. We'll scoot around him. Oh my God. Passing Mario on the way into the pits. I'm sure he would love that. All right, down to first gear. That was so sketchy, but I think avoiding all that traffic is going to serve me well. Fill it up here. I put it to more fuel. We're in the pits though. Final stop of the day. Since leading from the start, just don't speed in the exit of the pits. 80 miles an hour around this pit lane's quite fast for it. All right, a couple cars running out, trying to get on the grass there. Geez. Yeah, I did not like passing Mario there, but he dove to the bottom side so early that what was I to do? What was I to do? All right, with 64 to go, a 21-second lead. I don't know if that's just last time through. There might be a bit closer next time, but that would mean I'm about to lap them. So maybe they're the cars in front of me here. I I think I see Rick Mears up there, so yeah. This might be Sullivan in front. But we've got a great lead, so really no need to take risks now. 14 seconds, that's still very good. No need to take any risks. I am fully in, get it to the end mode. Let's take this car, take it easy here. No need to push anything. Should have plenty of fuel to make it to the end. Especially if I'm not pushing. Mo's sweeping out wide. Well, it looks like Foyt's finally going into the pits for his final stop. And these days, you would have seen a lot of cars that were slow. I mean, probably because they actually were having mechanical issues, but they would just retire after a certain point if they're so off the pace. And part of that's, yeah, definitely because they maybe had a mechanical, but the other part is you don't really want to be classified as finished, but you were just so slow that you were 5 laps down by the end or something. All right, Emerson's trying to get around Guerrero here, and I would like to get around Guerrero here as well. Up the inside. Oh, wheel to wheel there is so sketchy. Hall as well. Get up the inside of him into the kink. Wow, that was the wait. What am I doing? That was so close. All right. That would be so silly to throw away the whole race around Dean Hall like that. Lapping. How many laps down is Dean? There's no need for me to worry about it. Still got a 13-second lead on Michael Andretti behind. And once again, we got Scott Goodyear in front with Dominic Dobson. Whoa. Thought I was going to be able to get Dobson there. I know I just said that I was taking it easy, but that felt like an easy move. I've been doing that all day, but for some reason it did not work there. I think because Scott squeezing him low. Dominic probably didn't even see me on the low side. All right, much better shot at it this time. Whoa, a couple near-death moments there. Don't need to be doing that. There's 55 laps to go. At this point, I wish I was wearing my gloves. Yeah, it was Goodyear squeezing him down. I'll just pretend that he was... You can kind of explain... I like to explain the bad AI behavior in realistic terms. I think it just makes it more fun. You could sit here and just get mad at the AI because truthfully, I know how the AI works. So you have to be further than halfway up their car or else they will turn in. And I was probably not further than halfway up. But to say that Dominic there was more concentrated on his right side mirror and therefore missed me, just, I don't know. It makes it feel more fun. The AI absolutely can make mistakes and spin out, but this has been a phenomenally green race. I feel like in the 89 race we had yellows even, and that was with less damage on. So I do not know how it has been green the entire race today, but yeah, it has been an exceptionally clean race with just a couple DNFs so far for mechanicals, as we'll try to follow Didier Thays through here past Mike Groff, I guess. Groff will stick it in. Well, now figured Thays was faster than Groff, and that's why he got around him, but now they're going to battle. Stays looks to the low side of Foyt. So Foyt earlier saving me a whole bunch of time. All right, we'll just let them get around Foyt. It's easier when there's just one car on the track. So we'll scoop around Days there. Oh, Scott Goodyear with a wheel bearing issue is out of the race. Well, we don't have to worry about him for the last quarter of it. See, that's why I think it's fun to have the full standings up for you all. You can kind of keep track of what's actually happening behind me. We wouldn't have known that till the very end of the race. We just wouldn't have seen Scott anymore. All that aggression came up to get him, you're right. And I think we got enough laps left that Foyt will be able to get back around him, so that's good. Here's Boesel. All right, we're going to be lapping 5th place here as Boesel's trying to work around Eddie Cheever. Eddie's a lap down. Boesel's been running maybe race of the year for him here. Was in 2nd for quite a while. He's trying to work that high line. It's maybe not going to work on Cheever. We'll swoop down low, easily take him. We'll grab Cheever here on the front stretch and have time to come up and take a proper line through the kink. Still 13 seconds up on Andretti. It's catching me a little bit here and there, but I'm being ultra safe. Trying to be ultra safe. Yeah, Boesel in 90 was basically just a temporary driver. He was filling in for Scott Pruitt, who got hurt in an early season crash. Pruitt raced the 89 season for the Tree Sport team, but for 90 was also supposed to race, and I think was it Firebird Raceway that he got hurt and was out the entire season, and Boesel took a spot, which really did a lot for Boesel's IndyCar career, I think. And for 91, I forget, I think Scott does come back to Tree Sports, but they end up parting ways. I think as that team maybe stops running. Because in the 93 season, Scott's racing for really a no-name team and only does a partial schedule. And now, 90 was Cheever's first season in IndyCar. He raced for Chip Ganassi in the Target car. If that's what you all are talking about. All right, we got a Newman Haas in front. Is that Michael? I think it's Mario. Putting Michael Andretti a lap down is always a high point in a race. I would love to do that. 40 laps to go, though. He's 15 seconds. All right, getting a bit further back, maybe stuck in some traffic here. So I'm about to be as well. Oh, we got a car going to the pits. Oh my God. All right, stay composed. This is why doing full championships is so fun. It's a slow burn. It's a very slow burn, but it's so good when it happens. Danny Sullivan's out with an electrical issue. He's the leader of the points. All right, I got to focus on getting around these cars. Oh my God. Point there, that'll help straighten things out here. We got Dobson in front. Just take him easy. I need to win this race. Michael Andretti, yes, Michael Andretti's in second, but leader of the championship. Danny Sullivan is out and will not score any points today. He did not get the pole. I got the pole. He did not lead the most laps. I've led the most laps. He'll be outside the top 12 here in a couple of laps. Huge championship moment. That, honestly, I mean, Michael is still pretty far up the road, but that just made things a whole lot more interesting. All right, we got to close the deal on this. Mario in front here is going to be doing some massive defensive work for his son. All right, get around him. Dispatched the Newman-Haas threat. Man, this is the first, might be the first long oval race I've done with the force feedback, and my arms are kind of tired after doing, well, I guess I did 100 laps earlier, or just about, so it's a little bit longer than it should be, but I might need to turn it down a little. 33 laps to go. They're 11 seconds behind it. Michael's caught me a little bit. I really, really want Mears to get around him, but is this Mears in front of me here? It is. No, it's Bobby Rahal. I would really like Mears to get around Michael. I think they're right together. That would be a big thing if Mears can finish second at least. All right, Days sticks to the outside line. Back up to 12 seconds behind me. Catching Bobby Rahal now. Not many laps to go in the race. I got 33 laps of fuel. 32 laps says my predictor. We got 29 laps to go in the race, so we're good on fuel. Mears is now in second place. All right. Oh, I gotta hope he stays ahead of him. That would be, I mean, it's just a few points. What is it? It's 20 for first, 16 for second, 14 for third. So it's 2 points, but that's, I mean, that turns my advantage over Michael in this race from 4 points to 6, which is a whole lot better. Or it might be 8 with the pole and the most laps led. So I don't want to think about it too much yet because I got to get through the end of the race here. It looks like we're catching a lot more lap traffic, but having Michael finish third would be really good for me. Yeah, I think they're battling back and forth, so it's going to be neck and neck. I'll be a Rick Mears fan today. Not too hard. Bobby is quite quick here. I'm not really that much faster than him, at least where it counts. Dean Hall slides up wide. We got Dean Hall and AJ Foyt again. Two of the slowest this whole race. Bobby dispatches them very quickly. I'll do the same now to both of them. This is one of those, you know, honestly, it's, although I will commend the AI in IndyCar 2, when the AI lines are set up properly, which especially for some modded tracks, isn't always the case, or especially actually for the default tracks is not always the case, but there's been a lot of fixes for it over the years. But when the AI lines are set up properly, I would say the AI are every bit as good about getting around lap traffic as the player is, and sometimes can do it better, which is so rare in a game. Keeps it interesting because I don't gain a massive advantage always in traffic. In fact, I feel like I lose a lot of the times. A little bit of a run on Rahal here, but not quite enough to do it. 22 laps to go, 14 seconds. I really don't need to force this issue. I can just take it when it presents itself. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to lap the whole field today. It's just Mears and Andretti, Michael, that are on the lead lap still, but they're about 3/4 of a lap behind me. It's just not going to be quite enough time to do it. And we're all Rick Mears fans right now. We need Rick to finish second to even have a sniff at this championship. I don't know though. We'll have to point it out after. Zoom right on by Dominic Dobson. Letting Rahal go a little bit here. I don't even need to follow close to him. I'm just getting to the end now. 18 laps to go. Got a lot of lap traffic ahead, and we'll just try to do them one at a time. Mike Groff slides out wide. It's on. I'm actually letting Rahal make a path for me. Not a bad strategy here. Yeah, my car has felt really good today. Just the setup feels great. Gets Guerrero there. I'll also get Guerrero there. Days gets Randy Lewis, and then I'll get Days. It seems like there's a lot of cars in the pit lane now. I guess it's just such a small pit lane around here. Hold it into 11 seconds, but we'll just keep steady. Don't freak out. Gained a lot on Rahal there through the final corner. If I do see a good spot to do it, I'll get around him, but I'm not going to put myself at risk to do it. And I kind of like letting him get through the lap traffic ahead of me. It simplifies things a little bit. Two slow guys again. Hoyt, Dean Hall. Oh, Rahal goes to the outside. Man, that is something I will not do. I'm pretty strictly a low line passer in most situations. In this game. Get around Foyt at least. A little bit of grass there. It's all right. I feel like I had just passed Dean Hall, like 5 laps ago. That was 10 laps to go last time through. I came a little bit too close to Dean there. I don't want to take my wing off. I can run a bit hard here. Ray Hall's quite far up the track. 5 gallons of fuel left, but we're within the last 10 laps now. Come on, I just gotta close this out. 8 laps to go. Michael and Mears have closed up a bit. It's Michael in second though. Come on, Rick. Do me a favor. Oh, there he goes. Thank you, Rick. We need Rick Mears to finish in second. Danny Sullivan retired with mechanical earlier that is really gonna spice things up in the championship here with just one more race to go after this. We got the fuel light on now, but we're good on fuel. We should be able to make it to the end. Got a little pack of not so slow lap traffic in front. Mario, Lyondike, and John Andretti with Bobby Rahal trying to work through him. Just give them all a little bit of space. Cross line, 5 laps to go. Come on. This is not the ideal scenario to have this group in front with 5 laps to go, because they're all really trying to race each other. I think this might be a little battle up here. Maybe not. Oh, Lyondike with Rahal that was for position. Interesting. They both get around Mario. All right, this might simplify itself a little bit. Got cars on different laps. Oh no, they're pitting. That's super odd. Is it for fuel? What the heck? It seems like it's just fuel stops. What's going on? Splash and dash. Wow. All right. That kind of takes the wind out of it a little bit. We'll see how this mixes up things towards the line, though. That is super odd. I'm gonna well lap the whole field now. We definitely do not need a splash and dash. How are we gonna explain that one? I don't remember that happening in the '89 season. I honestly didn't think to. I usually check the pit windows for the track to make sure that the AI wouldn't do something like that, but it seems like something weird happened there. But all right, last lap. Bozel's in second. It puts Mears back into second. All right, come on, Mears, stick it out. I'm watching the results more than I'm focusing on myself. Let me get to the line here. So we got cars pitting on the last lap. I don't know what's happening. It would be very disappointing if I wasn't going to win that race, but we'll take it. A victory at Nazareth. Yeah, I don't know what the standings are going to look like after this one. Basically, everybody running out of fuel with 2 laps to go. And yeah, I think I was going to win that anyway, so it is what it is. I finally won a race. I know that wasn't the hardest race to win from a competition standpoint, which was honestly shocking given given how competitive the All-Star race was. But it's been such a rough season. I'll take the win. We'll park the car out here on the start line. Take a win. There it is. Crossing the line to win. Maybe we'll put some music on just lightly in the background. Not an easy race though. Just avoiding the other cars and getting around. It's maybe different in real life, but it's still the same idea that avoiding lap traffic, working through the lap cars is really the hard part. Yeah, I got real lucky today, but yeah, weird they pit on the last laps, but we'll take it. All right, let's take a look at the standings then. The final results, I know you can see them as well from the app, but we'll trust the in-game ones. I'll hide this. Feels so good to win a race, finally. All right. Ryan Axelson wins, leading 190 of the 200 laps. Ahead of Rick Mears, Michael Andretti, Raul Boesel, and John Andretti for Porsche. But Rick Mears, importantly, gets that second place finish, so this will be really interesting for the points that we look at in a second. John Andretti, though, finishes in 5th. Great day for John. That's probably his best race of the season. Al Unser Jr. slides back to 6th, leading 10 laps today, though, right off the line, but was able to get him back. Finishes ahead of Ari Lyondike, who came up from 13th on the grid to finish 7th. Bobby Rahal slid one back to finish 8th. Emerson Fittipaldi and then Mario Andretti rounds out the top 10. Roberto Guerrero, Eddie Cheever, Didier Thays, Dominic Dobson, and Dean Hall round out the top 15. And then at the back of the field, Randy Lewis, Mike Groff, and AJ Foyt is the final finisher. Hey, he finished every lap of the race. But yeah, or finished the whole race, I mean, but it's 14 laps down. But he did finish. Then we have 4 retirements. Danny Sullivan. Wow. He was in it for so long, too. I feel like you don't often see mechanicals right at the end of the race in this game. But Danny Sullivan with an electrical failure with just 41 laps to go relegates him to 19th, and he will not get any points today. Scott Goodyear back in 20th. With wheel bearing issues, Scott Brayton in 21st with a header, and Teo Fabi retires just after 34 laps with an electrical issue. 1 lead change today, no cautions. Crazy, only an hour, 14-minute race, 166 miles an hour, fun times. All right, we'll save the standings. All right, so let's look at the points. So the season standings with 1 race to go. Michael Andretti regains the lead over Danny Sullivan. They're just 2 points apart, and really that's the championship battle. But technically, I am not out of it. 16 points behind Michael Andretti, which would need a lot of things to go my way. But we go into the final round at Laguna Seca with a shot, albeit a very difficult one. But in 3rd place then, 2 points over Al Unser Jr., so getting his 3rd place from him, despite his best efforts in calamity through the All-Star race. But Al Unser Jr. then in 4th, and then a real big gap back to Emerson Fittipaldi. It's really a 2nd tier at this point. Yeah, I basically need them to retire, but man, fun little battle. I mean, it's really on for 3rd place, and it's really on for the lead. So although technically possible for me to win the championship would be unlikely, but it's still fun to have the mathematical possibility as we head into the final round of the season. So what a fun race that was. I had a really good time. I hope it was fun to watch for you all as well. It's yeah, always turns out. Wow, I'm real small here. What's going on? Always turns out a bit different than you think it would be, but yeah, it was fun. So hope you enjoyed it. I hope to do the final race here in not too long, maybe a few weeks or something. We'll do Laguna Seca, which is always a real fun one. And yeah, I have to see how it will point it all out and figure out all the possibilities for how it could go anybody's way. But the battle for 3rd place is certainly on for Ryan Axelson, and it'll be really interesting to see if Michael Andretti or Danny Sullivan wins there. And if by the off chance somehow I can scrape by and win without it totally feeling invalid, we'll see. But I hope you all have a good weekend. Thanks for tuning in for this one. I'll catch you all later. Have a good one.